but you're tuning in. I'm doing some pickling that I got out of my garden. I got banana peppers here, fresh tomatoes that I took directly out of my garden, and then cucumbers here that I took out of my garden. And this is one of the other cucumbers that I haven't cut up yet. Got my water here. I got vinegar. I got white vinegar here. I got my pan here. I got my sugar. And then I got my bread and butter pickling that I'm gonna do as well. And then over in my container here behind me, on my stove part, I got my bottles and stuff that are cooking up there as well. So I got my fire and stuff on for that. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to show you my steps. I'm prepping my containers. Once I get them prepped, then I'm gonna take the rest of it. So I'm gonna take this bowl here and put it, excuse me, put it directly on my fire. Turn my fire down some. Turn this one down some. I want it to pop. We got my fresh water going in. And I just did this is a 32 ounce, large drink from Taco Bell, so 32 ounce. No water. And then on the vinegar, I'm gonna do like half. It's not even really been half, maybe like 3/4 on the vinegar here. And this is just fresh straight vinegar. Pour it directly in. Got Bluebell down here on the floor. She's pregnant, you guys. So we have puppies at the water. And then I'm gonna sugar here. Put it over here. Get my container here. And so this is on my bread and butter pickling here. I got my sugar. And now this here costs for seven cups of sugar, but I'm not going to use this whole entire package that it tells you to use. So I'm actually going to only use a portion of this because I'm only doing probably about 5 pints tonight, and I only got like 4 pickles out of my garden so far. I got 4 tomatoes out of it so far. Well, actually I got 6 because I gave two of them away, and then I got 4 of them, and I got 4 banana peppers. So right now this is what I'm gonna do on this here. So I take my sugar here, and it costs for 7, but I'm actually gonna do it out here a little bit. I'm gonna probably put like maybe 2 cups in here. And so there's a bit more. All right. So this has got, so far I got water. So I got water, I got vinegar, probably like a little small 1/4 of a vinegar, 2 cups of sugar, and then I'm gonna take the bread and butter. Just get that spoon, stir this all up. And then this is just gonna be my mixture. This is the water, vinegar, and sugar right here. I got a knife in there, but hey, use a spoon. That way you get it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a spoon because knife really ain't doing what it needs to be doing and stuff. So stirring it up with my sugar. So I got my jars in the back like that. They are coming up pretty good. And this is so this is like the start of my. Well, actually, it's not the start of it. I started doing in my garden earlier. But I got stuff coming up. Like I got peppermint coming up. I'm gonna do another video on peppermint. Show you guys how I'm gonna do that. Experiment peppermint coming up. I also have romaine lettuce and long leaf lettuce coming up. I got 2 cabbages that are coming up, and then I gotta check my beets and stuff. They might be also coming up. I also got corn that is growing as well. I know it's not time for them yet, but they are growing. So on this container, I'm just gonna take. So in the water here, as you notice, you stir it to no sugar. Get it completely out. This is bread and butter pickling. So I'm not going to use a lot because this stuff is very powerful. And just stir it and let that cook a little bit. And that's going to be like very, matter of fact, this is already smelling good. Make me want to grab it and eat it. Just doing this little bit here. Now, the jars back here, I don't have to let them boil, because all you want to do is sterilize them. And they pretty much sterilize when you see the bubbles come up like this. So, and then once I go ahead and put the lids in. I put the jars in, the lids, and the tops all in the same time. And then I just bring my water up. Once it get good and in there, I'm actually gonna turn that off and let that just sit there for a second, well, actually a bit longer than a second, and let that just kind of get there. And so that's gonna sterilize your cups, your jars when you get ready to use it. And then on your mixture that is here with the vinegar, 2 cups of sugar, water, and the bread and butter, you actually want to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer, then cut the flames off on it. And you kind of want to let both of them kind of like sit there for a moment and don't do anything with it. So since this has been boiling for a moment, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. And I'm going to let it simmer. And it's going to kill every bacteria that's in it. And then plus it's going to help it seal when you put it on it. You don't have to tighten it down real tight. It's going to seal it up and everything. Now, you're supposed to have a different type of container here where you have a rack in the bottom of it and stuff. That's why I said don't let it boil, because it could pop your glasses. You don't want that as well. I haven't had none to pop, and I don't recommend nobody getting there and have it pop. I just do mine a certain way. But like this, I do mine old school. Old school way. This is all old school. So this here is let that boil. And, you're getting good enough steam off of both of it. That's the way I'm going to show you. We're going to go back over here to the counter while this is doing what it's doing over here. Let that take care of your bread and butter. Take it and just fold it up. Pretty much done with it for right now. You have to put this in a Ziploc bag, and that way you can have it preserved for your next. You don't have to keep going buying this. This is $3.96 at Walmart. I use this one bag all year long. So that let y'all know. And then plus, if I run out of this, I could just use water, vinegar, sugar, and without doing this here. And I got enough garlic and seasoning and stuff in my garden that I can pretty much do this without buying it. But I wanted to buy this because I wanted my pickles to be, I wanted bread and butter pickles. So let me get back over here. So I cut up my tomato. So this is fresh out of my garden, direct out, no store-bought. And they are delicious just like they are. And this is straight directly out of my garden. This is actually 3 pickles here. This is the 4th one. See how big that joke is and come out of my garden? That joke is big. And I done had like the one of these that's in here that I cut up was actually bigger than this. So this is like real big. This is big right here. And then so this is 3 this is 3 cucumbers right here, straight out my garden. This here is my tomato. I just got finished cutting it up, straight out my garden. Um, and let me just show you how. Now this is one tomato here, and it's got so much juice on it. I tasted it a few minutes ago. It's just so good. Look at that juice running. And this is just off of the tomatoes. This is another one here. Just I can't even catch it. So juicy. Just that much juice. You can tell by how it is. And like I said, and the season ain't even got started yet. And these are just as juicy, just as good. You know. So what I'm gonna do tonight is that I got 4 banana peppers. This is direct again, all directly out of my garden. Haven't bought anything. I got 2 more. I seen like 2, maybe 3 more growing already on the banana peppers. Jalapeno peppers already going. I just planted them probably like 2.5 weeks ago, and they are already producing and coming up. But you know, my mixture of doing stuff, I take rainwater, mix yeast, and then I let it marinate for like a week or 2 weeks, and then I pour that at the base of my plants. I take grass clipping, and I take a bucket of that, mix it with the yeast, rainwater, and I let it sit for about 2 weeks, and then I use that as fertilizer as well. I have Miracle Grow stuff, and I have those things also, but I found out doing it the natural way, organic way, it will actually bring it up, your crop up a whole lot faster. Now, this is my juice, and it should be in the video. Now, I bought myself a seal meal. You can see this right here. And I got some vacuum bags here. I got this at Ollie's, the vacuum bag. And this here, I can't remember, I think I got this off of Amazon. I believe it was Amazon. But anyway, for my fruits and vegetables, had so much of it last year, I needed a way to preserve it. So I went and purchased this. This would be a good thing for you guys. If y'all want to preserve your stuff, get you one of these here. I think they got it at Walmart, Amazon. I might have got this at Walmart. I'm not sure. But I got myself this last year. And also, you know, of course, you can put your food savings and everything in there. It's good for your harvest when you're getting harvest in and you start getting much stuff as I'm getting in right now. This is gonna come in handy this year because this time when my corn come up and all other stuff comes up, I can take it immediately and put it in my savings bag, vacuum seal it, and put it directly into my freezers. And so that's a big plus right there. I don't have to be losing nothing by losing all my vegetables and everything that I was doing the last time as well. So I recommend this, and I recommend this, that you get these items here. They will work great with your products and stuff as well. So my stuff been cooking over for a little bit. My puppet and laid completely in the floor. So I'm gonna come on here and stir this up a little bit more because I want that just right. Go ahead and cut that off of there and everything. And then I'm gonna put you guys for a brief moment while I get my jars out of here and stuff. But I'm not gonna put you on hold. I'm just gonna have you here for a brief moment. Just gonna have you taking a look at this right here. Get in my way. Okay, all right. So I got 4. I miscounted on my stuff. I actually got 4. I was counting this jar here as my 5th one. So I'm actually gonna have to add another because I don't have a top to this ball one. Well, I do. I just don't know exactly where it's at right now. Um, so I'm actually gonna have to add another one in here. And I picked these up. These are not ball ones. Mason jars. I got these at Walmart. They was like $10.97 at Walmart, which is still pretty good jars. I like to use them anyway. If you're a Baldwin, this is a Baldwin thing that you need for your utensil set. So if you a Baldwin fan and you want a Baldwin, then go for the Baldwin. You want to like me and just want to save some money, go for the $10. They're gonna still do the same thing. So I'm gonna do a total. Sorry about that, you guys. Y'all bear with me one moment while I get everything over here. Alright, sorry for that, guys. Had to put y'all on a brief little intermission while I get all that stuff out of there. So let me show you how I'm gonna do this joker here. And y'all bear with me one more time. I gotta get my gloves. I definitely recommend you have gloves on. You don't want to do anything with food without any gloves on. Don't stand up. Stand up for me. Don't stand up. Alright, so I'm back with everybody. Thank y'all for waiting patiently with me. So, like I said, you don't do anything with gloves. I got these gloves here from Sam's Clubs. They're disposable gloves. One size fit all, so they say. Hand swells like mine, it won't fit. But then again, if your hand don't swell, okay. Get a small hand, yeah, they fit. But this little side joke. So I recommend you have gloves on because of the fact that you just sanitize everything. And you don't want to contaminate anything that you're doing. So you want to have your gloves on. You want to have your stuff together. So that when you're putting everything on here. Come on, love, get on there. Okay. All right. When you get everything on here, you can put it all together. So my jars are all, these 4 jars are ready. The tops are ready. Got the lids right here, tops right here. Since I'm doing both, I'm gonna do tomatoes. And if you like tomatoes and stuff, I did this last year with tomatoes and with cucumbers, which I'm gonna do same thing this year. And they both was real good. It just depends on if this is what you like. If you don't like it, I understand. To each his own. So you want to get it in there pretty good. I'm gonna do one just all tomatoes. Like I said, they are real juicy. And if you haven't had pickled tomatoes, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're missing something. You're missing something. Now these, especially fresh out your garden. Now you can try store-bought tomatoes with you, and then I go ahead and get the juice. This is all tomatoes right here. This one is tomatoes and cucumbers. So we're gonna take. We're not gonna seal it just yet. But what I like to do is do this here. I like to put them in the thing and put the top on. I do wipe the excess water off because I don't want anything sweating in there, getting in there. I don't tighten it, I just set it on there. What that does on my stuff when I do that is that it actually seals it a lot better. Let me put my cucumbers in there. And that's just a little trick I discovered last year when I was doing the pickling. Because we went to the market. We even went to a pickling class. Me and Kia did. And we took the opportunity to learn about pickling, and because we wanted to do it, especially with me doing the garden like I'm doing every year. So I wanted to like really get it to where I need to be getting it up there. I wanted to learn a lot more, making sure I was doing it the right way. So I pack it in there like this. I get a good pack in there. Same thing applies to this. And when you add your juice in it, it's gonna look like, man, they putting too much in there. But actually, I'm not. Actually, gonna be like, man, you didn't put enough in there. Cause I did one year, last year, and I could have sworn I packed this thing in there. I just knew I did. Come to find out once I put the juice in, the water in, and all the containers and stuff into it, I had about that much gap or nothing in there. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to shoot myself in the foot. But I didn't have it in there. It wasn't like I wanted to be. So this will be my first time doing pickles, well, cucumbers. And my homegrown cucumbers. Last year I did cucumbers and the deers got them. They got them. Sit it down, and I just put it in here. I just leave that sitting there for a second. I don't really do nothing with it because of the fact I want to just kind of just sit there and just kind of marinate a little bit. But I'm waiting for the juice to kind of cool down a little bit. a little bit more. That way, when I put the juice in there, I can wipe my top paper towel, clean it up a little bit, and then wipe the inside of the top, make sure there's no water on the inside. Then I can seal it, put it back in my boiler, and then once I set them back in there, I let them cook for maybe about 10 or 15 minutes, or maybe a little bit longer. I would say 20 minutes. Let them cook. Now the tomato is going to cook the same length that the cucumbers are, so you don't have to worry about like, man, I got too much of this, too much of that. You know, when you do bread and butter on your tomatoes, or you just do straight vinegar, sugar, water on your tomatoes, you still get that sweetness, you still get that crunch from your tomatoes, just like you would from your from your cucumbers. And so you still get that same crunch. You still get it locks. For some reason, I don't know how, it locks in the flavor. It gets that flavor in, and it's gonna be just like that same, the day that you took your tomato and cucumbers out the garden. That's the exact same way it's gonna taste when you take it out the jar. So I recommend you guys try that there. I've been doing it ever since. This is now going on the 5th year with tomatoes. And like this is like the first year that I actually got real cucumbers, like just growing. I mean, I was just out there a few minutes ago. We was putting the fence up, and actually putting the stakes in the ground to put the fence up. So I was trying to get my measurement and everything so I can continue to put the fence up and all the other stuff. And fence in my yard, like I said I was going to do. I had to show you guys that on the day that the sun is shining. I'll come back and show you that. Probably bring that to you probably next Tuesday. Maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, somewhere down there. And show you guys how I'm doing my garden outside, because I still want you guys to follow me along as I'm building this garden up. I'll bring it, show you how I'm gonna do these long beds I got, and how I'm gonna still continue to map my yard out and do different stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in the yard to get this up and running and get it successful. So definitely make sure you subscribe, like, follow, hit the notification bell, because I'm gonna be uploading a lot more to what's taking place on this channel as well. So these will sit for a few minutes here, and so when I take it off, and I'm gonna get my container here. Put everything to the side. See how it pops up in there? And I ain't even did nothing. I ain't did a thing. So actually, let me do it this way. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so get a fresh paper towel. This one is actually wet. All you're gonna do is take this paper towel here and just gonna come around that rim. Let that rim dry. Come around that rim. And I pre-do this here. When I put them in the rim here, it helps me once I do it, I don't have to keep trying to get them in there just right. I just dap on it. I don't have to do a lot with it, just dap, get the water out of there. When they lock in place, they're gonna have a pop sound. You'll hear a pop, pop, pop sound on it. So turn these upside down. Just like that. And that gives you like a, you can get like a livid thing on it. So that's gonna go back there. And I'm gonna set you guys up at a different angles, because I'm gonna need both hands in order to do what I'm finna do. So just to show you some stuff. So at this point, I don't use a glove because I'm pretty much gonna take my container here, and all I'm doing is grab here. It'll come just a little bit, and it'll go straight like that. So that give you this little, and it usually take like 3 scoops to fill it straight up. That's why I said I had to let it kind of like cool a little bit. Let me go to the tomato so you can see what I'm talking about. And what I do is I put it in here. It's gonna you want to get the bubbles out. What I do is I let mine sit for a few minutes. Get a little bit more of that one. Right here on this one. When you make a big container of this, you'll have a lot of juice. Even if you have something left over, you can still like put it in the refrigerator, do it a different way, and it's gonna come it's gonna get it to you real good. So I had a little plastic thing that I take and I put down to get the excess bubbles out. And I'm not just 100% sure what I did with it. But what I do when I don't have that is this here. All right, so you see how it's directly to the rim, This can get a little bit more directly to the rim. Now, see how the bubbles popping up? They're popping up out of here. You got these bubbles popping up out of here. And this in here, you can take you don't have your little plastic container. You actually can take a knife. And you can do it just like this. And what this gonna do is it's gonna get all those air bubbles that's in there out. And plus it's gonna help that juice seep down in there. So I'll show you right here on the side. The juice is gonna go down. And I'm gonna show you the top of it in a minute. Remember I put took the water to the top now. Just want to show y'all something. Get all those air bubbles out. And notice the water that went down too. Same thing here. Get all the air bubbles out. And once you get all the air bubbles out, your product will actually sink. It will sink down. And you don't do this if you don't have the plastic container. If you have the plastic part that comes in the kit like that, then you just stick that directly in there. It's gonna do the same thing the knife gonna do. The knife will cut it more. Plastic container will too, but you want to get it. Now see, when I take it and hold it down, you see all the juices and the seeds from the tomato. Same thing apply here. You're gonna see all that good deliciousness. Now when this stuff joker seals up, it's gonna seal completely up. See, this one here done already went down. And remember, we put water in there. Now you have to let it sit here for a second. That's the water is right here. So it's right there. That's why I said I let it sit for a moment, because when you put it in there, you be like, man, I got too much water in there. But then you let it sit for a second, sit for a few minutes or so. You realize you really ain't got enough water in there. And even though you don't put it to the rim, you don't put it over to the top, you still don't have enough water in there. You don't have enough of your chemical base, your things that you're gonna have in there. You look around and you're like, I could have sworn I put more in there, like I did with that jar I had. So I did a jar of jalapenos and looked up there and thought I had more, and it was a smaller jar. I did it again on some 1 liter brands like this. I did it on a couple jars that I actually thought I had enough in there, and I didn't. So I want to top it back off. Top it back off. All right. I remember I cleaned it the first time, so we're gonna clean it the second time now. The first time was getting the water out. The second time we're gonna come all the way around it. And you can be very delicate at this point. Remember now, this requires steady hand. So if you ain't got no steady hand, get somebody that got a steady hand, because again, you do not want to contaminate your stuff. See how I touched in there? Now, if I was fixing this up for some sale, I wouldn't do that. That jar would come to the house. It wouldn't even go to nobody. It would come directly to me. So, and since they coming directly to me, I touched it, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, so these here, you're gonna take these and grab it on the side. Pick it up, grab it on the side. Make sure it's no moisture anywhere on it. You see moisture on it. Dab it on your paper towel. Same thing applied here. See any moisture? You don't see no moisture. So you want to take this and you want to go directly on top. Do not tighten. Put on. Remember, do not tighten. Put on, because this little center thing right here is gonna, once it get finished cooking, this is gonna make a popping sound. Then you put today's date on there that you did. Same apply with this one. Hand tight. Same apply with this one. And the only reason I turn them over is that I want to make sure that there's no excess water in between here, between the cap that I can't see, and in between this cap that I can't see. Because I want to make sure I get a tight connection in between the two. So put it on there, and we got it here for a second. I'll take them off, twist them back, make sure they're secure. You want to leave enough room for that air to get in there, and so you can get that popping sound. All right. And so this is what you get when you get that. That's on that one. This is tomatoes, and you guys should write your label what they are on here. This is cucumbers. This should be another pickling. This is cucumber here. Again, another pickling. You want to check your tops up here. Make sure all this is clean. You want to check your level of water. You can do this here. Your level of water is doing pretty good. You want to check that. You know, make sure you can see that. but your water's not down here. You don't want your water here. You think you got enough in there. But then in there, take this top off, add some more. You want to get it just right in there. Because once you cook it, that's it. You can't, I messed up. No, you can't mess up in your water. Say your water is here and you done cooked it. You can't turn around and take this out over the top and redo it. No, it's not going to do that way. Once you put it in there, it's got to be just right. Same apply on this one. Same apply on that one. I want to make sure everything is neat. Before, I'm going to say that again. Before you put it over there. You check it, and your water level doesn't look right, add more. That's the purpose of making extra. You don't make a little bit and say, oh man, I made too small amount, and I can't get it in there. Check it. Take a look at it. Flip it all around. Look at it upside down. Make sure it's not leaking out, not coming out on your sides and stuff. You want to make sure, because once you put this in your water, then it's going to be a whole different ball game from that point. Set that there. I'm going to take y'all over into my water base and show you what I'm looking at. All right, appreciate you guys holding out with me and everything. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna transfer over to the stove, and at this point they just straight cool. They're looking all nice and beautiful when you're doing it. So turn your water back, your fire back on your water. You got 4 going in here. So gonna get your water back heated up. I actually had a rack that I had in there, but what I'm gonna do on this side is I have to search for all that. So what this is gonna do is this here. My water is still hot. I want to make sure that when I put this in here, that's why I say you have to really pay close attention to this, because you want to have a rack in the bottom of it. Have a rack in the bottom if you want to do this, but you want to put it in. And your water's going to rise, because now you got food in there. Don't get alarmed on that. Saying, oh, I got too much water, it's going to come out of the thing. Don't worry about all that, because what's going to happen, now that's a lot of water right there. So this is what you can actually do on that is, and this is what I do sometimes. Even though it's a lot of water, right? Get you a cup. Take the water out. Now this is a plastic cup. I would recommend a regular cup. You're gonna actually be sticking this in hot water, and it might melt. Now, notice it's at that top of that rim, it's not all the way there. But when I set this fourth one in there, bam, they cover back up. So you got extra water that when it boils down, you still got extra water here, add back into it. And you're gonna let this cook for probably about another 15, 20 minutes. And after that, you take them out, set them on a towel, let them cool down. Once they cool completely down, I prefer waiting overnight, let them cool all the way down on the towel. Don't do anything that's with them. See that the air bubbles come up around the side that let you know this releasing stuff is on it just right. Once the tops pop, get this about a week, maybe two, and you can enjoy yourself some fresh cucumbers straight out of your garden. That's why it's called DIY garden to table. It's directly from the garden to the table to your home. And so again, I do ask you guys, thank you guys for showing up with me tonight. Thank you for the 5 thumbs up on it as well. Appreciate everybody coming up above with me. Please like, subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channel. Take a look as I upload more. Also, come and visit me on my ministry channel, PK Ministry, as well. Come and like, subscribe on it as well. I also have another channel that I'm gonna put my poetry on, and so I'm trying to do a lot of the avenues and stuff. But right now, come and like me on these. Definitely follow me on my 2 main channels, which is PKM Ministries and as well as the DIY or garden to table. And you're going to see a whole lot more of things that I will be doing and bringing, and I will be coming with a lot more. So I just want to show you to you guys, and then see that bubble popped up over there in the corner. That means I'm doing some good stuff here. And the water is like coming up, the temperature's coming up, everything, the steam coming up, awesome stuff. So yeah, guys, I don't want to hold you guys too long tonight. Appreciate you guys showing up for me tonight. Please share this video with everyone you know, and so that they can take a look at it. If there's something that they're looking at and say, hey, I wonder how this went, how that went, please leave me a comment. I do check all my comments and stuff, so go ahead and leave me a comment. I will respond back to you as well on your comment. If you something I don't know, trust me, I will look it up and I will ask other people about it as well. But I don't know. If I know, I'm gonna tell you. So please do that as well. And this is gonna be some good meal. And we'll come back. I'll come back when I get ready to open these up and show you how tasty and crunchy. Matter of fact, I'll let you hear how crunchy it is. Just from the time that I'm doing it now on June the 6th, 2025. So within maybe a week, approximately 2 weeks, we'll open one of these bad boys up and do some crunching and some taste testing over there as well. So again, you guys, thanks for showing up tonight. Sorry I'm so late, but I had to get everything else together. I was trying to do a lot of other stuff. But please like, subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channels, and y'all have a blessed afternoon. Kind of lead up then, huh?